think of the people that said he's not into you, Amanda would be, please spoil your own relationship. Hey beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. I am Mimi, just maybe I'm looking good and we are feeling good. So I'm in a very good mood. It is Monday morning, so that is quite strange. I've got my morning coffee. I've only got about 10 minutes to film this and head out because I'm on my way to work. Sorry if my volume is a little bit low, but I don't want to wake up my housemate. But I thought that I would address some of the shady and not so shady comments I received recently, because I think it's always good to clear things up if there's some confusion, and it's always good to answer some questions because I don't answer as many questions as I would like in my comment sections anymore. So let me just address some of the stuff that I've seen popping up a bit. So the first comment I'd like to address, I didn't take screenshots, so I'm just going to go off memory. I think it was about therapy. A lady was saying that when I announced that I was going through therapy to improve my relationships, a lady said, I don't think you need therapy to get married. It's just that most people tend to marry within their races. So if you're dating outside of your race, you're gonna struggle, you're gonna find it harder. Most people get married within their race. So I just thought, let's just start there. For anyone who's wondering, I am not in therapy to get married at all. In fact, I think I'm quite un-Nigerian in the fact that marriage just isn't really at the top of my wish list. Like, I know I want to get married in the future. I know it's something I want to do, but I've never prioritized it. I've never dreamed about my wedding. Like, no, it's just not at the top of my list. What I pray for is something like my mum always says. It's like the bone of your bone and the flesh of your flesh. I think that might be something from the Bible. So I pray for my partner, not marriage. And for me, I'm not even in therapy because I think it's going to help me meet my partner. I'm in therapy because I recognize that there are some characteristic flaws or traits in myself that I don't love, and they do make things harder for me. One of them being that for me, men are very replaceable. I just have this attitude like, on to the next. Like, I don't struggle to meet new men. I don't struggle, you know, in terms of getting attention. So once something's not going right, I'm very dismissive. I'm like, yeah, you can go. I never stay to like work things out. Like, and I think all relationships, you are going to get to a point where you struggle, and I'm just trying to work on being a better communicator, not just someone that's like, yeah, I'm out, I'm on to the next. So it's one of the things I want to work on, but also I want to work on being a better partner, because I've always been, I said it several times, I've always been someone I like to have my way. And if I don't have my way, boy, can I throw a tantrum. I start playing all these games, mental games, to get them back. And I've worked on that as much as I feel as I can work on it myself. So now, like, when I'm sitting and chilling with the guy I'm dating, I'm quite happy now to give him the remote and just let him choose. Like 3 years ago, I couldn't do that. Like, I had to choose what we were eating, I had to choose what we were watching. And if a man ever told me no, like, what you think? You know, so I've worked on that a lot. Like, so now I'm a lot more chill about letting my partner contribute to what we're doing, so keeping an eye on the time. But I still recognize that there's room for improvement in that. There's room for improvement because I still throw a tantrum and I still sulk when I don't get my way. So you guys saw in one of my recent videos that the guy I'm dating, I'm calling him Navy. Navy's my favorite color. He cancelled on me last minute. Actually, do you know what he said to me? So that's going to answer another question that came later on, so let me address it. He said to me that he had to do a test last minute and he wasn't going to make it to the bar that I picked out for 9 o'clock, for 8 o'clock, which was when we were meant to meet. He could only make it for 9, and he wasn't sure it was going to be worth it because in the UK now, all bars and restaurants have to close at 10. So he was like, I'm not sure it's going to be worth it, we'd only have an hour. So I was very upset. I was like, what? I've been looking forward to this date, but in the end, he didn't cancel. He actually ended up coming to mine, and we just had a drink at mine. So might roll some clips in here or something, because after that video, more shady comments. He doesn't like you. If a man liked you, he would move heaven and earth. He would make sure all the bars in the UK stayed open just so you can. It's a lot. But yeah, when he cancelled, due to the therapy and the working on myself, I didn't freak out, I didn't overreact. I was just like, you know what, life happens, and old Mimi may not have had that growth. Not gonna lie to you, a few days ago he said something to me via text message, and my instant reaction was just to be like, I don't know, like give him like the little spice, the little heat. And luckily for me, I had a therapy session with my counselor in an hour, so I was just like, let me not respond, let me breathe, and let me speak to her about it, and let's see what she says. And I spoke to her, and she was like, Mimi, I'm very glad that you did not text back what you told me you wanted to text back. I'm glad that you took the more mature approach. What you need to do is, instead of having this conversation via text message, perhaps you just need to talk when you see him next, and this is what you should say. And it's a very indirect way of saying what I wanted to say that would help me get my way without me going on the attack and the offensive. And it really worked. Like, I said exactly what she told me to say. It really worked. So just wanted to clarify, I'm not in therapy to get married. Like, that's just not even an ambition or goal of mine. I understand that it is for a lot of people. I'm not judging you, it's just not one of mine. I'm in therapy so I can learn to not throw all my toys out the pram when I get angry or when I don't get my way. And I'm in therapy as well to improve my communication skills, because that's part of it. When I'm upset, I fire, whereas sometimes you just need to take a breath back, take a chill, and come back to the situation when you're calmer. So I watched this webinar with my, by the way, I use BetterHelp for therapy. I will put my link in the description box so you guys can check them out, because I'm a month in and I'm loving it. I only found out a few, like I think it was like a few weeks ago, a few weeks into my signing up, that they have webinars. And one of the webinars, I've only attended one, but I was like, this is for me. It was basically 4 communication mistakes that we make without realizing it. And I attended that webinar on Friday. I made 3 pages of notes, I kid you not. Out of the 4 communication mistakes people make, I make 3 of them quite regularly. Like, one I make more than others. I'm an escalator. Like something, oh, I'm an escalator and I'm a negative interpreter. So if someone says something to me via text message, usually the guy I'm dating, I'll usually interpret it so negatively, whereas that's probably not how they meant it. But I'm like, and my ex one said to me, I remember number 2 said to me, Mimi, like when you feel like you're attacked, you go on the offensive. Like whether or not you're actually being attacked, as long as you feel like you're attacked, you go wild. And he's right. Like, I interpret things negatively sometimes and then I escalate. So the 2 things that I do a lot, I escalate. Like if I'm having like a little disagreement, your girl is ready to bring in everything else that you've done to upset her. Like, it's a lot. So that's why I'm in therapy. They are linked in my description box. Via my link, I believe you get 10% discount on your first month of therapy via BetterHelp. It's all online. I text my therapist. I have phone sessions with her. Not done a video one yet. I'm easing my way into it. We speak every week, and I text her, like updating her, and she gives me advice. So that's been really cool. I've really been enjoying that so far. I am an affiliate, so if you do go via my link, I am working with BetterHelp, so you just need to be aware of that as well. Another person replied to that comment about marriage and therapy, that they don't think that they think I should be in therapy because wanting to date only tall, good-looking, wealthy men means I have issues, and like hopefully therapy can help me. Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm also not in therapy to stop dating successful and attractive men. I like what I like, each their own. I'm not saying there aren't really great guys out there that aren't the best looking but would treat me right. I'm sure there are, but I'm just someone who likes to enjoy what I'm looking at. And I genuinely believe that, like, yes, it is harder to find, and yes, it's taking me a lot longer to find than it's going to take most people, because I want a lot in a man. I want a good looking, tall, successful man with a great personality and who's going to treat me right. Now, some people might say this man doesn't exist. Maybe you're right, but I'm just not willing to settle yet. So another clarification, I am not in therapy to reduce my standards. No sir. Another thing, this one was not shady, just I know people wanting to know about my job. I am a software solution expert. So it's really bringing in two of my great passions, tech and legal. I'm not going to explain how that works. I'm not going to bait out my job, because y'all know what some of y'all done in the past. So it's really nobody's business, but that's what I'm doing. I'm not working in law, but I am working in the legal sector. So I'm not like using my law degrees as a barrister. I'm not doing that. I'm working in the legal sector, and it's a brand new opportunity. It's great. Previously I was in purely account management, and this is just different. It's great. Girl's gonna be late to work, she needs to leave. So that's just another update for you guys. And then lastly, for the people that keep saying you're going to see your ex, you must be desperate. First of all, if you ever accuse me of desperation or anything like that, I will block you. I'm tired of it. I will block you. I'm not desperate, like, at all. Like, what I say I want, very high standards, always had it, unwilling to settle. You don't ever come here and hear me say, oh, he cheated on me, or he had how many baby mamas, or he did this to me. Like, very rarely. The things men have done to me, on the grand scheme of things that I think men have done to other women, they're actually quite minor. Thank you, Jesus. I have very low tolerance for bullshit. But anybody who's concerned, your girl's not desperate. She knows what she wants. She understands that it's going to be harder to get, because she's looking for a whole ass quality man. Lastly, Navy and I, we are still dating. For the people that said he's not into you, Amanda would be, please spoil your own relationship. I am done. Thank God for growth. I had a lot of issues with Gabriel because I was listening to things people were saying to me about what a man did if he liked you. Luckily, I know better. You will not spoil my own relationship. I know when a man likes me. If you've got good common sense, you know how they treat you, how they respond to your messages, how they plan the dates. Like, last time I saw him, used to like Mimi, tell me about what you were like when you were 5. I was like, I can't remember. Like, it's like, okay, tell me about what you were like when you were 8. Like, this guy's trying to get to me. Nobody's ever asked me these questions before. Like, so spoil your own relationship. I'm late for work. I gotta go, but hopefully I cleared up some things for you guys. So if you're thinking of self-development, bettering yourself, definitely feel free to check out BetterHelp. I'm just loving it so far. That's all I can say. I'm really loving it so far, and my counselor has helped me out loads in terms of Navy and just handling some situations that previously I would have thrown all my toys out of the plan. Alright guys, in the next